How cool is deGrom? What were you looking for?
He's really cool, man. I never had the opportunity to feel, what it was like to hit a homer. It's amazing.
First off, I'm diving in right here because we all work together, but there's a couple HOFers running around these parts, and I got one of the greatest pitchers of all time. I know we work together, but when I knew you were coming on the show today, I'm like, man, this is the Pedro show.
Well,
okay? I don't get a chance to break you down at the Skybox. And I know you want to dive into deGrom because I was thinking the same thing, Pedro, last night. Watching him from behind, he kind of reminds me of you. Very athletic wind-up. It's very simple for him. It looks like he's throwing 85 and 97s exploding out of his hands to all quadrants. And I know you had those moments and you want to dive in on deGrom. And then on the back end, I want to dive in on Pedro.
I think he does it a lot easier than I do.
Come on.
It looks a lot easier for him to go 97, 98, 99, and sometimes close to 100 most of the time. What makes deGrom, I think, really special right now, it's a few things. It's a combination of things. He's got the stuff. He's got 99 well located. He's got nasty slider that he can also command just as much as he does with the fastball and the changeup.
That's ridiculous.
Difference maker. And you know what? That one is a little bit harder than mine. But he's so deceiving. His fastball looks so much like the changeup that it's impossible almost for the hitters to not chase it. And when you have 99 well located, understanding of the league, understanding of what you want to do, and you're also relaxed because you already have settled your career with the Mets. I think that's a lethal combination for a guy like deGrom. deGrom now understands the league, understands what he wants to do. He has 98 with a wipeout slider and a very deceiving changeup coming off the same arm angle, the same release point, and very good knowledge of the league. As he said earlier, he's studying. He understood that he was going to probably have a career high when it comes to strikeout.
That's my thing. He kind of like, when you're in the moment, he's still thinking through it. I would say to you, like 99 at the height of your, do you have the pinch me moment? Because it wasn't like you were unhittable right out of the gate. This was a shortstop from Stetson that turned pitcher and had to grind through the minor leagues. It's like, do you have that moment where you're like, man, I'm executing everything I'm playing in a different game than these guys are playing?
I did have that feeling, and that's why I can actually relate to him so much. There's so many familiarities that we have when it comes to that. Right now, deGrom is at a point where I was in 99. I came over from Montreal, and I was traded to Boston, but I came to a new city with really high expectations about me. And somehow I didn't feel quite as comfortable with the league, the DH, and not that I was intimidated, but I didn't feel quite as comfortable. But when 99 approached, I felt like I knew the league.
I heard you talking about that last night. In the offseason, you talked
and
about...
I think he's going through the same thing. I understood the league by 99, by the starting of the 99 season. I understood, what I wanted to do. I had a very good knowledge.
Let's dive into that real quick. Run my tape, because I want to compare the two of you. And then I want to break out and go into you, a couple ABs in 99. I mean, what he's doing, Pedro, is vintage you. He struck out half the batters he's faced this year, and he does it like he could go to shortstop. I love athleticism on the mound, whereas the guy in Syndergaard, and we'll pause this, as the guy Syndergaard looks like he really works hard, right? deGrom's languid and fluid. So for me, I wanted to go side by side here because I wanted to check out, like, what were your keys? We talk so much at the Skybox about hitting and front shoulder and hips, and guys have a million different ways to going about it. What were kind of some of your keys for you on the mound?
Well, you have to have a good balance, and this is what I have right here. deGrom is a little longer than I am, so he's gonna need all the leverage he can get. It's more difficult for taller guys to actually stay in balance on top of the rubber. for me, it was easy to actually dance from that position. As you can see, I'm extremely close from my hips. I'm on top of the back leg.
Yeah.
My point of separation is actually right behind the rubber. This was huge for me to actually be able to separate on the point that I wanted to, because my tendency will be, if I separate it too early, fly open. I did not want that to happen, so I needed to maintain my balance right along with my hips.
And you like turning
really
that
close,
toe in.
and then separate back here in order for me to be fluent. And actually, I always thought about relaxing because I wanted the changeup to look just like the fastball. And if you somehow stiffened up on the fastball and loosened up on the changeup, you could actually tip something. But deGrom is just like me. He's fluent, he's whippy, and we also have the same similarities when it comes to throwing the fastball and throwing the changeup. So that's what makes him so deceiving.
I mean, you could rack that back. That looks way too cool. I mean, very similar motions. I mean, you just got to the point, I think for me, like, the execution for the superstar, the Hall of Famer, just goes to and pause this because I want to dive in, elite levels. Like, for me, when I knocked a donut off the bat, I would be like, all right, head still, front shoulder square, take the hands to the baseball. Look, those were like my 3 keys. What were some of your keys outside? Your key was balance, point, hip?
Yeah, but eyes.
Let me ask you a question, because you had the ability to dot a gnat's behind.
Yes.
What is it here and then at the last second, just a little hand manipulation? What are you trying?
Yes, it's hands and it's your toes. I wanted to be in a 45-degree angle. I wanted to have my hands right in front of my toes. If I was going in, it was going to be literally this way.
Bang.
In. Outside, it would be literally this way. And I wanted to have my eyes behind the ball. Always. I always wanted to just be able to do that in order for me to just transfer to one side or the other. It was just this much.
Can I just stay here all day and do 2 hours of this? All right, let's dive into 99 All-Star Game, because this, for me, as a kid, I was like, you set the tone against Barry Larkin and you went through. This was like childhood dream to watch you. And you break out the nasty changeup. What are you saying to yourself going into this game?
Well, I just wanted to actually perform a little bit for the fans, and not. I was fully aware that I was representing Boston. It's my hometown.
Yeah.
This is for Ted Williams, all Century players there. I wanted them to see me as someone special, someone that was probably at their level.
Pause that. Take me through Sammy Sosa's AB. Was there someone you had circled like, I'm gonna punch this ticket tonight?
I did not want Sammy to. It was just a country pride moment.
So look at his knees buckle right there, back-to-back breaking balls. It's pretty much over.
Well, I wanted to change that level.
Oh, pause it. I want to know what's coming next. 2-2. Right?
It's got to be a hitter.
Gas?
It's got to be a hitter.
See you later.
Yep. Yeah, normally, because I know that in a 2-2 count, you want to throw your best pitch. You ask me in a 2-2 count what most likely will be my pitch. It will be 97 to 98, trying to locate it well. That's what I would do. That would be my MO. And I see so many similarities with deGrom because of that.
Look at that.
He's able to pinpoint at 97, trust his changeup, trust his slider, and if he continues to be healthy and continues to do what he's doing right now, he's gonna be not only with Bob Gibson, but with many names, some of the elite names that you have seen in the big leagues.